Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Kim aka Brick Artisan. As you can see right in front of you is the Jazz Club, which is the new modular for 2023. But unlike most videos, I won't be doing a review of the Jazz Club. Actually, I will be tearing this down and disassembling it and making it into something else. The reason mainly is because I haven't had the second set of the Jazz Club yet. My order will come in by the end of January, but I can't wait that long to make the second version of this one. Actually, as of now, January 8th, I have finished the design and instructions for an alternative build for the Jazz Club, and I would need to do a trial build myself so that I can see if there's any error. So what I'll be doing in this video is I'll be breaking this set and I'll be rebuilding it into something else. I won't show the details or share the details of what the modular will be, and those details will be by the end of this video. So I'll do a build and an overview of each floor and as well as the aesthetics or the facade of the building. So without further ado, let's get on with dismantling this one and rebuilding it into something else. And there, we finally have it, guys. This is the Downtown Magic Shop. I mainly focused the name on the ground floor of the dark orange building or the medium nougat building, which is the magic shop, as you can see here from the 3D sign of the bunny coming out of the hat or the magician's hat. It gave me an idea when I saw the minifigure for the magician to try and incorporate that as part of the building, and I think I was able to add that on really well and make that one of the focal points for this building. So I'm first of all quite happy with how this one turned out. I liked the combination of the red, orange, and yellow Roy from the rainbow colors, but with these three they mesh up really well, unlike when you combine this medium azure. So I removed that and put most of those medium azure pieces just in the interior as part of the furniture or the gribbles or additional details inside. But on the outside, I think these color combinations work really well. And also, as you can see, we have two separate buildings. First off, we have the dark orange slash medium nougat building, which is sort of like the rustic or old style building where you have some of the bricks already discolored. You have this different black steel gribbles on the outside as well as on the roof for the facade and such. And on the left side, you have the lighter color of the yellow on the ground floor for the tailor shop. I chose to keep the tailor because first off, the 3D sign or the printed sign works really well, and I wanted to make sure that I was still able to keep that and have that in my Lego town. I now have at least 3 buildings that have either a seamstress or a tailor, so we know we have lots of minifigures. They need to get their clothes somewhere, so at least 3 businesses like that should be fine. And then on the upper level, where you have the dark red colored building, you have an apartment, a 2-level apartment at that, which is quite big. Usually I would have the top floor as the apartment or the room, but this time I chose to keep those 2 because it works well that the color combination or the predominant color of the dark red is just for one establishment, or in this case, an apartment. Also, in trying to stay a little bit different from the usual generic 2 buildings that are side by side, one is recessed or one is moved backwards. Actually, for this one, at the end of the base plate, and we're able to utilize this area here where you can have a seating area. Since there's no more pizzeria or a pizza shop or a pizza place here, I can see this area now as sort of like a free lounge area or a free area for anyone in the business establishment to use whenever they have lunch or whenever they take a break or have a snack. So this one is sort of like a common area for all the business establishments here. And what I like about this one as well is that you have that inviting feeling that tries to lure you in, where you have the stairs going up, and then you also have the lavender door going inwards, where you should be able to enter the establishment for the tailor shop. And here on this part, you had advertisement for the jazz club or the jazz concert, which could end up being a totally different building or a building right next to this one. So you can pair this up with the original modular building, which is the jazz club, or have this building placed far from the jazz club, and then they could just be connected to each other in a way that this one is advertising for the other buildings. So we all know that, in different parts of the city, you can have different advertisements. So, and I like that I was able to use the different colored, trans-colored bricks. It makes it more interesting. It makes it pop. And also, you don't have that bland dark orange or medium nougat color just from the ground up. So this one breaks away that color combination. And then I also wanted to make sure that I was able to utilize all the plant pieces and put them forward or outside. I still used a few pieces inside, but considering that this one has a lot of sort of like bricks going on the outside, I wanted to have it broken down a little bit with some plants, so that you can have some greenery, and it also adds some nice details into the building. For the dark orange medium nougat building, I really liked how I was able to put up this facade using the different parts. You have all sorts of different combinations of pieces that I think works really well. The accent color will be the black one, wherein you have all the windows and all those gribbles and all those additional details that just give the accent for the building itself. For this one here, I wanted to keep the white and the light yellow because they really work well together in terms of the combination of the colors. For the dark red, it goes really well with the black windows. And the nice thing about this one here is that this is an angle. So it's not just a straight building all the way there, and it's not just a straight building of two buildings right next to each other. You have this difference in their depth, and also here you have the straight, and then you have an angle, and then you have another straight here. So it's very, very diverse for me to be able to do that, and I wasn't expecting that I will be able to do that, considering that the Jazz Club was all rectangular figures or rectangular shapes on the outside. So it was an unexpected surprise, but I'm happy I was able to do that. Moving around, oops. So here, this one isn't the nicest facade to be able to see, but it is what it is. I mean, it'll be covered up by another modular here anyway, so that's fine. And then here, it's clean enough that I think it's worth using up. Like, if you had this at the back, you won't feel too bad about this. One of the main things that I could just suggest maybe is to just replace that one with a dark bluish gray, and this one as well. But other than that, I think this one works well enough. I'll be able to explain this one later when we do the interior. For the magic shop, you have here a cabinet full of different boxes and small packages. I see them as like magic kits or tools that the magicians use whenever they have any performances. You have here sort of like a magic cube on that corner with all sorts of different colors, and I see this one as a trick where you have a spring like snake, and then you cover it up with the lid, and then when you try to open it, the snake pops out. So it's not just a magic trick, but all sorts of pranks or tricks that you can have in a shop. Here you have these yellow pieces where they were initially used as sausages, but for me, I see them as like party trick balloons. And then at the bottom there, you have some tiles that can serve more as the small packages for other magic tricks. And then you have here a cabinet of curiosities, and again, it's just all sorts of boxes, plates, and tiles that can serve as details that you would see on a magic shop. And here I've used the printed tiles, sort of like an advert as well, where the owner of the shop is promoting the live music and the magic show on the Jazz Club. So we're able to utilize that tile and still have it be connected with this set or this MOC. So that's how it looks like for the magic shop. Moving at the back, you have here a rotating door of some sort. Well, this one is actually one of those magic doors or magic tricks that the magicians use whenever they perform, where the magician would come in, or the assistant, and then they would disappear, but actually the assistant just uses the other door at the back to escape and to hide. So this one is just like a product that's hidden away, and the owner would only show it to experts or magicians that would want to use it for their act. And now on this part, we have the tailor shop, where as you enter the door, you have here a small cabinet with all sorts of small stuff on the side. And then you have here the sewing machine. It's almost similar to the one that is in the Jazz Club set, but I had to modify the ground part of it, or the bottom part of it, because I had to utilize the pieces somewhere else. These two minifigures came from the set, but I've sort of used them as mannequins for sort of like the costumes that the tailor have made so far. I might end up taking these two and then replacing them with other minifigures that I have in excess or in duplicates, so that I can utilize these properly and just use normal minifigure bodies there, so that they're just going to be staying there for a long time anyway. So it's best that I use these two outside. On this side, we have the different patterns of the fabrics that the tailor used as samples. So you could also argue that this one can be a portrait of different colors and whatnot, like an artwork that came from the El Cubo fine art. But for me, I can see this like different fabrics that the tailor can show. Here as well, you have the same build there that came from the Jazz Club, and a few more fabrics on the shelf at the back of the tailor. As you go upstairs, you enter into the music store. I've also utilized the Jazz Club tiles here, where they can serve as the background or additional details for the shop. So you have at the back of the cash register there some drum sticks, the microphone. Here are some boxes for some gadgets or instruments or whatnot. And then on this side, we have the player, and then you have the different instruments that came along with the Jazz Club set. I've utilized them similarly in a way where you had them in the assembly square, but I wanted this one to be a little bit bigger than that. So I might end up also putting a few more additional instruments here when I do a second round of this MOC. I might end up adding some more horns and trumpets and guitars that I have. On top of the tailor shop is the chef's apartment. I've utilized the space here as his kitchen, and then you have a small dining area here, and then the stairs lead up to the second level of the apartment. So I've utilized this technique from the police station, where you have the snot technique for the facets that can be used as stairs, and then I used a different style here with the available parts in just a normal bricks on top of the each other technique. I think it's quite spacious still, considering that it's still just a small apartment, and I like that I was still able to have this as a diagonal style and keep it sort of like an inviting feeling going into the apartment. On the top level of the apartment, you have the ladder that leads up to the rooftop, and then you have here a vanity where you have a desk and then a mirror, and then you have here the bed. I've also been able to incorporate a very small toilet where you just have the really basic stuff, where you have the sink, the toilet bowl, and the shower. It's very small, but considering the toilet that the Jazz Club had, I think this one works as well. Like, we don't need it to be a grand toilet, and then this one is just a small apartment anyway, so I think this one works. So coming from the ladder, you're able to access the rooftop where there's another seating area, and there's a small garden here. What I wanted to do in this part is just utilize it as much as possible so that it won't be a bland gray plate just like that. So I might end up putting some greeneries or something here, just so that it's not too basic when you look at it from the top. As well as in this portion here, I might end up putting some more leaves that are growing up here so that they would have more details. But other than that, I'm quite happy with this one. There you have it, guys. The build and overview of the Downtown Music Store. I'm very happy that I was able to do this as my first design for 2023. Hopefully there will be more to come. Well, definitely there will be more to come. But I'm very glad that I was able to do it in a week's time after the release of the set, which is really it's challenging as well for me, but I'm happy with the result. I'll be able to place this in the Lego City once I move to the other house, probably in the coming months. I'm not sure yet, but it's definitely happening. So I'll also share some pictures of these later on, where it's placed beside other modular buildings or other MOCs. Hopefully when I get the Jazz Club sec at the end of January, I'll be able to rebuild the Jazz Club and I can place them right next to each other so we can see them together. By the time this video is released, the instructions for this would be available on sites like Rubricable and Belverbricks, and then a day after it will be available on mocsmarket.com. Anyway guys, I won't stay too long for this one. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, please click the like button and the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. And if you like this design and you want to build it for yourself, please purchase the instructions from the different sites that are linked in the description below. Anyway guys, thank you very much again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!